Hey guys, welcome back to the ProbStat Lad YouTube channel. My name is Swapnil Lad and I am super excited to continue our journey through the world of probability. In our last lesson, we reviewed the definition and motivation behind probability and briefly discussed statistics. In today's video, we'll be covering a handful of the most important terms in the world of probability that will pop up throughout future videos. Of course, there are a bunch of other terms that we will explore as they come up in the future videos. The first term is experiment. An experiment is essentially a procedure, test, or operation that is conducted under controlled conditions with some intention. The intention may be to validate results, explore new changes, or something completely new. An example of this might be flipping a coin to see whether you get heads or tails. A more complicated example may be recording the first failure in a manufacturing assembly line. There's a random component to experiments, which we will explore in depth in future videos. For now, we can lay the groundwork by saying that a randomized experiment can potentially have different results over similar iterations. The next important term is the sample space, which is often represented by a capital omega. The sample space is going to play a key part in the remainder of our introduction to probability material, but it will also make a huge comeback when we discuss stochastic probability later on. Essentially, a sample space is a set that includes every possible outcome of a random experiment. Going back to our coin flip example, the sample space is heads and tails. If we have two coins, this increases to include all possible results from the coins. There are two forms of sample spaces, continuous and discrete. We'll dive deeper into the differences in these two in a future video. An event is a subset of the sample space. There are ways of manipulating and combining events. We will dive deeper into these in an upcoming video, but in a nutshell, the three forms of event combination are union, intersection, and complement. You may be familiar with some of these from Boolean logic and computer science, set theory and discrete mathematics, or some other field. The union essentially represents an or, the intersection an and the complement is a not. A probability function specifies the likelihood of an event occurring. This could mean the likelihood of rolling a 4 on a 6-sided dice, for example. In general, the probability of any one event is between 0 and 1. The probability of an entire sample space must end up being 1. The last big term that we're going to cover in this video is independence. While there is a mathematical definition for independence, the general definition is that two events are independent when the occurrence for one event has no impact on the occurrence of another event. An example of this is flipping a coin and rolling a dice. Whether you get a heads or tails on the coin doesn't really impact the results of our dice in this system. Independence will play a key part when we discuss conditional probability and law of total probability in future videos. Well, that's about it, guys. We've now covered some very general terms that will start to drive our conversations into the world of probability. In the next video, we will discuss some examples and solidify our understanding of the sample space. Thank you guys for joining me here today. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below, and be sure to like and subscribe on your way out. I will see you guys next time.